Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 FM Walleyes Unlimited Classic Cup Tournament season. My name is Rick Mohan, and I will be your tournament director. I want to begin this online rules meeting by recognizing our 2022 Classic Cup tournament sponsors. So I'm going to try to share the screen here, and I want to recognize all of these fine organizations and folks who will be supporting us for the 2022 Pelican Spring Classic. That includes Mercury, Lund Boats, Ray Sport Marine, Shields, J&K Marine and Vexus, TRS Industries, Kovash Marine, Moorhead Marine, Eskimo, Warrior, Skeeter Boats, U Motors, Striker, Flag Island Resort, Onyx Brands, Vision Bank, and Chuck's Custom Rods and Chuck's Custom Rods. So again, these events couldn't occur without these sponsors, and I would encourage you to support these sponsors with your business. So moving on, this is the online rules meeting for the Pelican Spring Classic. This event will be held on Friday, June 3rd and Saturday, June 4th. At least one team member should view this video by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 4th. We would ask that you like or drop a text or whatever. The guys that will be doing, the folks that will be doing boat inspections will also ask you if you've viewed the this online meeting. And the main reason for this is, guys, we just want you to be aware of the rules. So there's no surprises, and then everyone's on the same page. Please note that the complete set of tournament rules can be found at fmwalleyes.com. I'm not going to cover all of these rules or review all of them at this time, but it is incumbent upon you guys as tournament anglers to know and follow the rules. So that's where you can find them. As is our custom, we have a long tradition of remembering and recognizing old friends and tournament competitors who are no longer with us. And at this time, I would like to continue with that with a short invocation. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the many blessings that you have provided us. We thank you for your amazing creation and the opportunity to pursue our fishing passions. We also thank you for the opportunity to conduct the 2022 Pelican Spring Classic Walleye Tournament. We ask for your continued protection of the anglers and event staff. Please keep us safe as we travel and are out on the water. I take this time in a moment of silence to remember our old tournament friends and anglers whom you have called home to be with you. A moment, please. Amen. Well, guys, I'm going to start off with some general comments. First of all, new for 2022, and I'm sure many of you have maybe seen this in the news, the Ottertail County Sheriff has declared a no-wake zone on Pelican, as well as a few other lakes, for 300 feet next to the shore. And this declaration is in effect until June 25th and is due to the high water conditions. This will affect how we conduct the release of flights and how you guys operate on the water. So please keep that in mind. We're still working out the details on how this will impact the launch. And we will address that the morning of the event. The launch will include being off plane for this 300 feet from shore. It's just how do we comply with all of that? We're working a few details, and we'll share that with you on Friday morning early. So also new for 2022 is the location of our tournament HQ. The new HQ location is the U Motors lot just west of Zorbas. I want to thank U Motors for stepping up on very short notice and helping us out. I really do want to thank them. And again, guys, please keep them in mind when you're looking for in supporting them in their business. I just did want to explain, as I had secured an agreement from the Cormorant Inn, which is now known as Parallel 46, last summer. I called to confirm things here a week ago, and they told me we would not be welcome there, and our presence in the past had disrupted their normal business. So I wanted you all to know this so you can make an informed decision on the businesses you choose to support in the Pelican Lakes area. So moving on, The Coast Guard approved flotation devices must be worn when the boat is under power. That's not new. Again, check for AIS when launching and loading your boats. No alcohol is allowed in your boat during tournament hours. Live and or artificial bait is permitted. Anglers must have a valid Minnesota fishing license. Anglers must follow all Minnesota fishing regulations. There is a 20-yard spacing between competitor boats while on the water. At no time may a competitor come alongside another boat during tournament hours. We are not able to be everywhere to enforce this rule. If you believe another competitor is too close, respectfully ask them to just move away. Certainly you can call in and talk to us about your concerns and issues, but the best way to deal with this is right then and right there, because we may or may not be around. And again, guys, I know it's just a matter of, I know everyone's a competitor, but it's also a matter of being a good sport. But it's going to work best if you just respectfully address those issues amongst yourselves, if possible. The tournament patrol boats, sheriff's patrol boats, and DNR boats are permitted to come alongside a competitor boat. Cell phone or radio use among competitors is not permitted. We have allowed anglers to bring along a cell phone for emergency use. We do reserve the right to inspect cell phone call logs of competitors while on the water. Anglers are permitted to call the tournament director or staff with questions or to request assistance. No fish are permitted in your live wells or boat. Please inform tournament staff if you see a floater. We will send a boat to recover that fish. We also must use a Judge brand ruler, and I have one here that I can show you. This happens to be the FM Walleyes branded Judge ruler. It is not required that you have an FM Walleyes branded ruler. There are Judge rulers available from other sources, and those are certainly okay to use. Rulers will be available for purchase Friday morning at the dock, at the U-Motors dock. So also, I would encourage you to make sure you have a camera that accepts an SD card. Also then, our tournament permit only allows us to occupy 50% of the parking spaces at a boat ramp. So please utilize the overflow parking at the U-Motors lot next to Zorbers as necessary. And it's actually quite convenient. I know a number of anglers that have done that and said it really worked out nice. So as far as the general schedule, the launching of boats, again, we're going to use either ramp. The boat inspections will begin at 6 a.m. DNR requires live wells to be empty before launching, so please do not put your live bait in the live well until you've been inspected. It's also possible that you will be inspected by a county paid inspector, and comply with them as is required. My experience has been quite often, once they see how we do it, in many cases they're very comfortable with our efforts around inspections and ANS, and they'll just typically watch. But if they choose to get fully involved, it's their right to do that. As far as flight times, all teams, you can pick up the scorecard in a packet beginning at 6 a.m. at the U-Motors dock. So the first flight boats will be released at 7 a.m. The second flight boats will be released at 7:30 a.m. The first flight boats must return by 3 p.m., no later than 3 p.m. You can come in earlier if you've had a good day. Second flight boats must return by 3:30 p.m. Boats are considered in if they are off plane and within 300 yards view of the U-Motors dock at the designated time. So what will happen then on the second day of the event, we will just reverse the order of the teams in the release. So the teams that went out on the first flight on Friday will go out on the second flight in reverse order on Saturday, and so forth. Boats start and finish the day from the U-Motors dock next to Zorbers on Pelican Lake, and again, that remote parking at the U-Motors parking lot west of Zorbers. And as well, that's where the tournament headquarters will be. So I want to take a moment here and just review the info packet. So when you roll up to the dock, you're going to be receiving a packet. This happens to be team number 1. In that packet, there's going to be a sheet That includes, flight times, launching, emergency contact information for myself, and also for you motors. They have obviously a full service place, and they're right there. So if you need that type of assistance, I would encourage you to reach out to them as well. Also included then is a packet. In that packet's going to be a scorecard for the event. It'll look something like this. Also, then there'll be a ribbon of the day. Don't worry, it won't be this color. And that's what you will use to tie around the judge ruler so we can validate your photos. And then also there's an SD card. This is what a standard SD card looks like. And a pen with which to mark your card. So that's kind of how that piece works. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to score, and there'll also be a short video here in just a moment about how that is done. But all fish must measure at least 15 inches to score, and so the fish head must contact the bump angle, on the judge ruler. You are allowed to round up to the next quarter inch, so mark on the index line that the fish touches. So the smallest fish that can be recorded is 15 1/4. That means when measuring the fish, the tail touches the 15-inch line or crosses it. You can round up to the next quarter inch. So if you had a 16.5-inch fish, it touched the 16.5-inch line. Well, let's do it differently. If it just gets past the 16.5-inch line, you can round up again to 16 3/4. We've had a few instances where we've been off by an inch, and typically that's a mistake, but that would result in a fish being disqualified. The new for 2022, the fish length is determined by taking a photograph of the fish on a judge ruler. The fish must be oriented so that the head of the fish appears on the left side of the photograph and the dorsal fin on top. Fingers placed inside the gills of the fish during the taking of the photograph will result in a disqualification. And I have a photo that I'll share with you on what that looks like. Please take care of taking your photos. You may take as many photos of fish as you feel like you need to capture a good readable photograph. And then please take a hero shot between fish to help us differentiate on your card a different fish is now being recorded. So a hero shot can be a picture of your partner. It can be a picture holding the fish. If you throw the fish over too quickly, it can be a picture of you going like this. But that's enough for us to separate fish. That's what we're asking you to do. If too much direct sun can wash out photos, and I'm going to show you a picture of that, and it results in, so we just can't read the ruler with all the glare. If we cannot verify the fish length from the photo, that fish would be DQ'd. So at this point, I want to share some photographs of fish. I'm going to try to bump that up so you can see it. Yeah, so here would be an example of not only a good photo, but a great photo. You can see the orientation is correct. The head of the fish is on the left, the dorsal fin's on top. I can see that the head is touching the bump angle. I can see the tail and which index line it crosses. This is a great photo. Now I'm going to show you some examples of photos that aren't so good. In this instance, again, the orientation is correct, but because of the sun and the glare, the indexes on the ruler are washed out, and we can't make a determination. Similarly, in this instance, the fish is in an incorrect orientation, but primarily the angler's hand is covering the head and the bump board, so we can't determine that the fish is actually up against the bump board. So again, if that happens, take another picture. I understand that they may be wiggling and there's a bit of a struggle to get a good photo, but in this instance, we're using this as an example, but you can take another picture to correct that. Again, this is just another instance where we are in an incorrect orientation and the ruler is washed out and we cannot make a measurement. We can't verify the measurement. So as I mentioned earlier, we talked about the fact that this year we do not allow hands to be placed in the gills or in the mouth of a fish. So you can see from this picture where the hands are in the gills, this would result in a disqualification of that fish. Again, this picture shows where the hands are in the mouth. And again, if this is the only picture, the fish would be DQ'd on that card. So that kind of covers the photographs. I want to continue on then with a short video segment that describes how we would conduct a catch photo release format tournament. It's a video that was produced for another one of our tournaments, so there's a little things that don't quite line up. But the gist of it is, this is how we do the tournament. Many of you have experience with that. My only guidance would be to first, take a good picture. People, you can typically orient if it's a sunny day, you can orient yourself where you're casting a shadow on the fish on the ruler. That's oftentimes helpful. I've seen people carry umbrellas, and that's perfectly all right. That really helps with good photos. If it's an overcast day, that's typically not a concern. The other thing is I would my advice would be to record the fish immediately after you take the photograph. It takes a moment to do that, but we've had instances where people record the fish after they come in, and that's allowed. But what has happened is that a fish gets recorded incorrectly or out of order. Bottom line is there's been instances where a fish that would have been recorded correctly on a card was not. And unfortunately, that results again in a disqualification. But those are decisions that you guys want to make, and how you manage your time is your deal. So with that, let us start the video that describes how to do a catch photo release.
Kyle Avery and Brenton Hell here of FM Walleyes. We are your Little Pine and Devil's Lake Young Angler Tournament Directors. We want to talk a little bit today about the catch, record, release format. Brenton, let's just talk a little bit about leading up to the tournament and the day of the tournament, how we are prepared for that.
So what you're going to want to bring with you on the day of the tournament is your red judge ruler. That is the ruler that we do use as the official ruler for our AYA events. Bring your judge ruler. We do have some available for you to borrow or rent during the events, and we have some available for purchase as well. Also, you're going to want to prepare for the event by having a camera that will put the pictures onto a standard size SD card, not a micro card, but we need that a camera that will put the pictures onto a standard card. From there, the morning of the tournament, we're going to deliver a bag to you at the launch, and that bag is going to have your SD card for that day. It's going to have your scorecard and a colored ribbon. Now you're going to need that colored ribbon to be in your picture, which Kyle's going to talk about in a minute, and you're going to use that SD card to record your pictures during that tournament day. And if you do want to do some practicing with our SD cards the night before at the rules meeting, we're going to have those available, Kyle, so that you can bring your cameras out, make sure they work on the cards, and plan and prepare for the next day.
Yep, we want to be prepared the morning of the tournament. Once we get out on the water, hopefully we see our anglers catching a lot of fish, and that's what we want to do. The intention of this tournament and this tournament format is to get the fish landed and in the boat, to get them measured, recorded, and released as quickly as possible. So the process is going to look like this. That walleye will first be taken out of the net and unhooked. We're going to lay that out on the judge ruler. We want a photo of one of the team members holding that fish on the judge ruler. Now it's important that we can see the nose of that fish touching the bump on the bottom end of the ruler, and then also where we can see the tail in terms of getting an accurate measurement and verifying that measurement. You can take as many photos as you would like. Once you get one you're satisfied with, then what we're going to do is we're going to take a hero shot. That indicates to us as tournament directors that we have the end of one fish and we can look for a new fish after that. A hero shot is simply a shot with one of the team members, preferably one who caught the fish, holding that fish. Once we get the hero shot, we immediately release that fish into the water, and hopefully that process is done as quickly as we possibly can. Once the fish is released, then we go into our scorecard and we're going to write down the score, meaning the length of that fish, remembering that if the length touches a line, let's say it's 16-inch walleye, it touches a 16-inch line, we're going to record 1/4 inch above. So if it touches 16 inches, we're going to record that fish as 16 1/4. And we record it on our card at that point in time, and then we can go resume fishing.
At the end of the day, you're going to have hopefully a full scorecard, Kyle, of all the fish that you had enjoyed catching during the day. We need you to circle the amount of fish that we're weighing for that tournament. We need you to circle the ones you want us to weigh, to factor into your weight for the day, and we need you to make sure that the angler's name who caught those fish is next to that measurement, because remember, we do give out a special prize to the largest fish caught by a boy and the largest fish caught by a girl at our tournament. So we want to make sure that we know who to celebrate with those big catches for the day. And of course, if our adult angler catches one of the fish that we're going to weigh for that day, we still want that name on there too, so that we can use it for our results verification.
It's a fun way to do a tournament. It lets us to score all of the big fish we catch during the day, really in avoiding our slot limitations if we were to bring the fish into the boat and bring them up to a scale. It's important to remember, Brenton, one of the things we want to make sure our teams are aware of is that at no time are we allowed to put a walleye into a live well into our boat. Our live wells need to be clean the entire day while we're out on the water. And as you are demonstrating, all of our participants need to be wearing their life preservers while they're out on the water participating in the AYA tournament. We wish everybody the best of luck. Look forward to seeing you there at the next AYA event.
Well, that's really all we have for now. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. I also want to point out that we will once again have the Bjorkman Comeback Award. If you have a tough first day, don't despair. There's always a chance that you could come back with a really good second day. And again, with a great second day, you'd have a chance at winning a $250 comeback award. And I also want to thank the Bjorkman family for sponsoring this award. They've done this in the past and they continue. And this award is in memory of their father and their brother. Guys, it's a great award. And again, thank you for sponsoring this event at our tournament. It's made a lot of second day anglers happy. As previously stated, we will be using the U Motors lot west of Zorba's as a tournament HQ. The event trailer will be there. I look forward to seeing everyone on Friday. Take care.